Welcome to the Make More Money as a Dietitian podcast, where we talk about all things money, mindset, and marketing so your nutrition business can thrive and you can make a bigger impact in the marketplace. I am your host, Christine Diane, registered dietitian and money mindset expert. Let's get started with today's episode. Hey there, friends. How are you today? Welcome back to another episode of the Make More Money as a Dietitian podcast. So before we get started today, I just wanted to introduce our guest for today, Stephanie Brown. And Stephanie is also known as the Content Fixer. So for those of you who are somewhat new to social media, or maybe you are just like so over the changes in the algorithms on Instagram and how to, increase engagement. You want to know how to increase engagement on Instagram and or Facebook. Listen up, Buttercup. Stephanie is here to fix all of the things content related. She is so good, you guys. Hopefully this episode will inspire you. She'll give you some great tips on how you can really start to do things a little bit more strategically on Instagram specifically. And all of her info is in the show notes so that you can get more information on her services if you really want to start up in your social media game. So let's get started and listen to what Stephanie has to say. And I just love her name, you guys, the Content Fixer. Isn't that amazing? Let's listen up. Well, hello, my friends. Welcome back to another episode of Make More Money as a Dietitian. Y'all ready to learn some new stuff about making more money? How about we learn today about social media? Because, it's the thing. It's the thing that we all have to somehow get acquainted and accustomed to in one way or another to help us leverage our businesses, especially during this time of COVID. During the time of the recording of this podcast episode, we are in the midst of a pandemic. And so most of us have had to transition our businesses. Some of you may have had to transition your private practice from a brick and mortar to a virtual. And by doing that, you may even need to start utilizing social media for marketing your services. And so today I have a guest. Who is going to help us learn so much more about social media, because I don't know about you guys. I used to have a love-hate relationship with social. And I don't know why I'm saying used to, because I kind of still do a little bit. But Stephanie Brown is here with us today. And
Hello.
hopefully she's going to help us, you guys, me included. I'm saying us because it's the collective, including me. She's going to help us learn more about social, how we can best utilize social media for our businesses in a way that really is unique to us. I'm all about
Yes.
that. So
Yup.
welcome, Stephanie. Stephanie
Thank
is the
you.
Content Fixer, y'all. Doesn't that sound good? She is the Content Fixer. She's going to help us fix our content. So Stephanie, welcome to the podcast. Go ahead and introduce yourself and tell everyone who you are, where you're from, and what you do specifically.
Sure. Thank you so much, Christine, for having me on this lovely podcast. I'm so excited. I love podcast interviews.
I know. I love you for being here. Thank you.
But so like Christine said, I'm the content fixer. I teach people how to, fix their content. I'm very passionate about helping coaches and consultants specifically. And I know a lot of your people, dietitians, fall within the coach realm. So hopefully I'll be able to teach you some good stuff today.
Yes.
Just a little bit about me. I went to school for broadcast journalism. I was a reporter for a little bit. Didn't really want to do that anymore. And then I worked as a PR, digital media, social media videographer pretty much everything for a community college here in North Carolina.
Okay.
So yeah, that's what I did for a couple of years. And then in that role, I kind of realized, wait, I'm learning all this stuff. I can help people that I know that have businesses.
Yeah.
So that's basically how my business was born.
Yeah. I
So yeah,
love it.
I'm real
The
passionate.
content fixer.
Yeah, I'm passionate about helping people connect with their audiences on their social media.
Oh my God. Yes. I think you're going to save a lot of us because I've had so many dietitians tell me how much they hate social media. And maybe it's just, I'm talking to the ones who are around my age group because then there are the younger dietitians, the newer dietitians who are really loving Instagram. So, I think there's a mix, right? There's a mix 50-50 all the time of all of the things. But for those of us who are feeling challenged, hopefully you can help us today. And you've already told us like how you have come up with your business, the content fixer. And I would really love to know like, what is where does the passion come from when it comes to helping people with their social media? Because I'm always in the mindset of people leading with passion.
Well, for me, I've always been a storyteller.
Ooh, I love
That's
that.
number one right there. You know, that's the constant here with news, with PR, with when I
Mhm.
was little and I was just taking my camera and making stupid little content and putting it on the internet. It was all about storytelling.
Yeah.
And the good thing about businesses and marketing your business is that it's basically just telling your story and your business's story in a way that resonates with the people that you're trying to reach.
Mm.
Um, and a lot of people, when they think about social media, when they think about Instagram and Facebook, they're not necessarily thinking about telling their stories. They're just
Yes.
thinking about, oh my God, I gotta slap a Canva graphic up there.
Mm.
I
Mhm.
gotta post my flyer. I gotta do this. And that's not what connects with people.
Mm-mm.
That's not what they want to hear.
No,
So
no. So tell us a little bit more about what connects with people and how we can make that connection.
right. Well, the framework that I have in my business, what I teach my clients and everyone that I work with is that you want to post content that does at least one of these three things. You want to nurture your audience, and this is where you are, showing yourself,
Mhm.
building that know, like, and trust factor so that
Mhm.
people open their wallets for you, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
You want to build your authority. So, what are you teaching people when they're coming to your social media? What are they walking away knowing? You're establishing yourself as someone that's giving value so that when they are looking to fix whatever problem they have, you're at first at mind because you've established yourself as that authority in whatever field you're in.
Yeah,
And then the third is you got to promote your offer, right?
of
They don't
course.
if they come to your page and they don't know what you sell and they don't know exactly how to buy it or how to move forward and work with you,
Yeah.
and you'd be surprised. You really got to spell it out for people.
That's so
Um,
crazy, isn't it?
yeah, so those are the three things. You got to nurture your audience, you got to build your authority, and you got to promote your offer.
Mm. Mm. And so I know that you and I chatted a little bit prior to hitting record, and we were talking about like helping people create content in a way that is more unique to them or
Mhm.
what have you. Can you elaborate on that? Because I think that's going to really, really resonate with this audience.
Sure. Yeah. So another thing that people, and I know this is like a broad statement and it's not going to apply to everyone, but
Mm-hmm.
a lot of the resistance that people have towards social media is
Mm-hmm.
because they're thinking they have to be everywhere and anywhere. And oh, such and such is on Facebook Live. So now I got to go Facebook Live. And,
Mm-hmm.
they're doing carousels on their Instagram. So I got to do carousels. And I just want to
Mm-hmm.
say that's bull right there.
Right,
Okay.
right, right.
You never, ever, ever have to do anything because you see someone else doing it. And another thing, and this might ruffle a couple feathers, but you do not have to be on every social media platform.
Right.
You really can only be on one if that's what you want. You can
Mm-hmm.
literally, if you don't want to be on social media at all, you don't have to be. Okay. Don't let
I hear
anyone
you on
tell
that.
you you have to do a certain thing to market your business because that's what people are doing. But
Mm-hmm.
what I do suggest is, we all have our different strengths that we are strong at. I know, sorry, that was redundant, but there's different
Okay.
things that people are good at that others aren't. You know,
Mm-hmm.
if you are a writer and you love to write long form content by hand and paragraphs and all that, and you connect with people through blogging, let's say, you
Mm-hmm.
don't necessarily have to show up on video just because that's what other people are doing. You
Right.
know, if you're not much of a writer, video is probably going to be your main thing if you really light up on camera. If you are a talker like us, you
Hello.
know, podcast
Yes.
might be your thing.
Yep.
And the good thing is, whatever avenue you choose, you can kind of, let's say you do want to show up on some other socials just to kind of get that traffic, you
Mm-hmm.
can choose one main marketing channel and repurpose all the content from there
Mm.
onto those other platforms. So you're not creating new content for each of these platforms. Does that
Oh
make
my
sense?
God. That totally makes sense because that's what I do with my podcast. I
Exactly.
create one episode and well, I don't know if we would consider that repurposing, but I
Mm-hmm.
create one episode and I share it out on all of my channels. But can you
Mm-hmm.
give an example of what repurposing content really looks like?
Sure. Yeah. So let's take your podcast, for example.
Yeah.
Let's say you record one episode and
Mm-hmm.
now you, or either your VA, if you want to
Yeah.
outsource that, let's say you take like 3 1-minute excerpts from that and
Mm-hmm.
post them as clips on your IGTV. Boom, that's
Mm.
one way to repurpose it. And then
Okay.
guess what else? You can take the transcript from that podcast, not the whole thing because it's going to be real long, but just an excerpt, put that in your email newsletter to people
Mm.
with a link to
Mm-hmm.
the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
You can also, let's say you have one like you just dropped a bomb, like a
Mm-hmm.
real short, sweet bomb. You could
Mm-hmm.
put that on a Canva graphic, throw that up there.
Look at you
Canva
doing all the
graphics,
things.
Canva graphics do great right now. I know people see where it's like one singular quote, and people share those a lot in their stories. You know, the goal with Instagram in particular is you want to create shareable content.
Right.
So
That's what I heard. Yeah.
you might repost your podcast link there or like the flyer to it, but that
Mm-hmm.
might not get that many shares. But if
It sure
you
don't.
take, yeah, not working out.
No.
Yeah, but if you were to instead take one like real call out quote, really like that kick in the pants statement that's gonna make somebody say, "Oof, drag me."
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what's gonna get the shares
Yeah.
on your.
Oh, okay. So that's a good tip. Let me write that down for the VA because what she does, and listen, you guys, if you have an assistant or if you have someone like an intern that is helping you, hello,
Mhm.
hello,
Mhm.
you can have this person listen to your episode or read your blog content and pull out a quote that resonated deeply. My VA is so good at that, and I'm gonna have to tell her, look, girl, we need to be doing this too, because Stephanie said so. That we need to just pull out like a shareable quote and
Yes.
then put that up. Oh, that's so genius. Anything else? Like you got all the
Yeah.
nuggets. That's really good though.
And you know, as I said before, video is king on Instagram right now in particular. I know
Mm-hmm.
anyone who's logged onto Instagram recently saw how they switched everything around and they really want you to make some reels.
Mm,
Re- Reels for, you know, my mama's age group and up
mm,
is it's for these 15-minute or 15-second, sorry, videos that
mm-hmm.
kind of like TikToks.
Yeah.
They're really pushing those right now. So anything that you can take longer form and chunk it down into smaller, digestible, shareable, valuable pieces of content,
Mhm.
that's gonna be your moneymaker on social.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. I um I have really been trying to lean into reels. At first I was just totally like I'm not doing it ever. Don't even look at me. And then I'm like, okay, Christine, you know that you need to really stop being resistant because I can be resistant with new things in the very beginning.
Mm,
And then it takes me a little bit of time to lean in. And some of my colleagues who are listening may feel the same way. Like, you may not jump on the bandwagon at first, but then you're like, okay, everybody is on the bandwagon. I'm out here by myself in this desert. Let me get in here. So
mhm.
now I'm trying to figure out how to do reels without having to stand in front of this camera doing all these silly dances because your girl is about to be 51 years old. I'm not doing that. So I see other people who do like what do they call those um camera, the hand, oh my god. Mm. They used to call it, they have a word for it where you're only filming like your hands doing something. I know you guys out there listening, you dietitians who do like food videos and stuff, like recipe videos, pans to hands. There you go.
Yes.
Hands to hands. So,
I know exactly what you mean.
yeah, so I'm trying to think of how the money mindset dietitian, can do a pans to hands type of reel, because I
Mm-hmm.
really am not going to be standing in front of the camera doing pointing at captions. Not happening.
Got you. Yeah, and
Yeah.
see, good. You know what you're not gonna do, which is great. You can set
Yes.
that boundary for yourself, even though other people are doing it. Christine
Yes.
ain't about to do that. So I'm
No.
glad that you made that distinction. But you have said that your strength is talking and connecting in that way. And the
Mm-hmm.
good thing is you can kind of do these pan to hand videos without showing yourself, showing your face, and then
Mm-hmm.
do the voiceover after the fact.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's within the TikTok app, and you would have to. It's,
Yeah.
I could give you a tutorial if you want,
Yeah,
but
yeah. And I think that, like, I was watching a YouTube video, and I think that there's so many different ways to go about it. And what I really hear you saying is that we have to really go about social media our own way, and not
Mhm.
necessarily feel so strongly that we have to, follow the trends of what everyone is doing. Like, you can do a reel, but you don't have to do it in the same way that everyone else is doing it. Find your
Exactly.
unique way. So if we know that reels is the thing that Instagram wants to really push, think about how you can do a reel without, if dancing in front of the camera is not your thing, how can you do that? I mean, like, if you are a dietitian that also has a food blog, you can do a reel with pans to hands if you want to do it that way, or
Hmm.
some other way. It's totally okay. But
Yeah. And
just
I
be
was gonna
unique to you.
exactly. And I was also gonna say, let's say you don't even want your hands in it. Let's say you
Okay.
don't want to record yourself doing anything at all.
Well,
You can
amen.
also exactly. I know there's some people out there that were like, "Oh, what? How do I do that?" All you got to do is write some text on the screen, put some photos, make a little slideshow, get creative, put some music in the background. You
you
don't even
have
have to be on camera.
you have sold your girl right now. All I got to do is put some photos and some captions and put some music
Yes.
behind it.
Yes. You
Oh,
don't even have to be on camera.
why didn't the people tell me this? No, no one has told me this. I think that is amazing. So now really all I have to do, come on, y'all. For those of y'all who really haven't jumped on the real bandwagon yet, look, we get to do it our own way. So all I really need to do for me, and you get to determine what it is for you, my friends out there. I just need to know how to edit this video, child, because I don't know how to do this.
Yeah.
And so I hear some people are doing their editing in the TikTok app. Some people are doing their editing in the actual reels, I guess. I don't know.
Hmm.
But look, there's plenty of YouTube tutorials out there. And and I'm sure Stephanie is for hire too. Hello. So
Yes,
there's
ma'am.
always ways to learn this. I love that you're showing how we can be unique when it comes to social media. I love
Yep.
this.
And I will say, yes, there is a learning curve with a lot of this social media stuff. Um, I will also say, don't let that deter you from social
Hmm.
media. Like, if you really are just, it's not your thing, that's one thing. But don't let the hesitation to learn something new stop you from what could be, because the
Yeah.
possibilities on social media are endless and it can do a lot for you in your business. So just keep an open mind is what I always suggest.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And do you feel okay? So this, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Um, One of the things that I really want to begin to embrace more is building the list versus building the followers, right? So,
Mm.
how can my people out here listening learn how to get those followers on their list from Instagram? What is
Freebies. Like, it's one thing to develop this community in your social media, but it has been shown that people that are on your list it's way higher conversion rates than people that are following you. Followers
yeah.
do not necessarily turn into clients. That is why any of my clients can tell you I beat them over the head about one thing, and that is every single thing that you post on social media, whether it's a reel or just a post or a blog entry on your website or a guest appearance on somebody else's something or other.
Mm-hmm.
Everything has to have a call to action. That call to
Oh.
action can be, whatever freebies or master classes or PDFs that you have
Mm-hmm.
available, but it needs to be somewhere where someone's opting in with their email. It's,
Mm.
it's one thing for someone to click follow, but it's another thing for them to volunteer their email to you. So
Okay.
with everything that you're doing and all the attention that you're commanding on social media, you need to make sure that you're having these people opt in.
So every time you post on Instagram, or every time you share on your Facebook page, or every time you share in your Facebook group, you should have some sort of call to action.
Yes, and it doesn't have to be something that's like super flat fleshed out or anything like that. Mine is usually just like PS, I have this guide available for you to download at the link in my bio. Go check
Mm.
it out. Like something
Mm-hmm.
real short and sweet. PS, I'm running a masterclass. Here's the link.
Okay. Okay. I love that because look, you guys, if we're actually building businesses and we're using social media to build our business, your list is your biggest asset, not
Mm-hmm.
your 10K followers on Instagram, unless you're actually really, truly leveraging Instagram to convert those followers into clients. And that is a whole different strategy. Okay.
Yeah.
Most people don't even want to dig into that strategy because it is going to require you to go into people's DMs and have conversations with them back and forth. And who has time for that? Who has time for that? Like, what you really want is to be able to nurture your list. You want to be able to stay in communication with people with valuable content on your email list. And so once you are building your following on Instagram or your Facebook page, or even in your free Facebook group, if you have one, it's important for you to have these call to actions when or where you can actually get them on the list so you can stay in contact with them beyond the social media, right?
Exactly. And keep nurturing them in that way. Because guess what? If you can't even get somebody to give you their email address,
They're not
you
gonna
ain't
buy
gonna
from
get
you.
their money.
Mm-mm. They really are not going to buy from you. So I've noticed that, like, even some people who join my Facebook group, I have them answer questions. And the first one is, you know, would you like to join my email list, or however I put it? I don't really put it as a list. I feel like people are a part of a community when they join.
Mhm.
And I let them know that they don't have to, because I really don't want you, if you don't want to be there, I'm not going to like make you
Hello.
come, But I noticed the ones who say NA, they'll put N/A. I really don't want to give you my email. I'm like, you just here for the group, and that's okay.
Yep. They here
Like,
for the free stuff.
and that's okay. I feel like I give such good content in my free Facebook group that if that helps them, that is cool, because what could possibly happen is that they will go and tell someone else, and then
Hmm.
that someone else will come and say, wow, this is amazing. Like, yes, I want to give you my email list. I mean, my email address. So if one person says no, that doesn't mean that they won't get value from you and go and tell other people. And I just want everyone to know that, and that is okay.
Yep.
Yes.
Hey,
All right.
okay.
Yes. Awesome. So with all of that said, I'm curious to know, like, is there any specific framework or any specific methodology that you use to help people with their content as the content fixer? How do you help people with their social media if they're a
Sure.
client of yours?
So I do offer VIP days where it's a 6.5 to 7 hour day. I know that sounds like a lot. I promise I give breaks in between.
Hmm.
Um, but the first session of that is really about just mindset, about goals, about your brand's story and messaging. What are you doing? What is your why? Why? Who are you doing it for? All of that. But the main component there is mindset, because I can teach you all the strategy things that you need to know from here to Timbuktu. But if there's some sort of mindset block within you about, visibility or anything about showing up, it's not going to help you. And I know that because I had to overcome a lot of visibility things. Even though I know all of this stuff about how to grow online, it really doesn't help if you're suffering from like imposter syndrome or anything like that. So that's the first thing that we tackle. Then, like I said, just getting into your clear brand messaging and offer and all of that. And then we get into systems, because people underestimate how hard or underestimate how hard it is to be consistent on social media.
Yes.
So really putting systems in place that either make your life or your VA's life also making your life easier is key. Putting together a repeatable framework of not a content calendar. I'm not a fan of content calendars. Anytime you've ever seen, content marketers say, here's all the content you can post for the rest of the year. No. Okay. They don't know you. They don't know your business. Right. So what I teach people to do is come up with their own repeatable content framework that they can just do over and over and over, month by month. And it sounds repetitive, but it's not. And going back to before, what I said about the 3 main things that your social media content has to do.
Yeah.
When it comes to nurturing your prospects, talking about, the things that you believe in, talking about your story, how you got started in this business, letting people get to know you. That's the type of content you can do there.
Yeah.
When it comes to building your authority, doing tutorials, those carousels with all the different tips that you swipe through on Instagram.
Yeah.
Even reels. Each reel can be a helpful tip, and you can do a series of them. Those are just some ways to kind of execute that. And then promoting your offer. The best way to do that is not you telling everyone how great your product is. It's your testimonials. It's people speaking up for you. So anytime you can share, quotes or videos, better yet, from your previous clients, that's going to do really well for you. You can give people a sneak peek inside your program.
Yeah.
Those are some of the things you can do. So yeah, just basically mapping out what 1 month of content looks like for you, which I would say maybe show up 3 times a week wherever you want.
Oh, okay.
Let's say you are on a bunch of different platforms. If you show up once in your Instagram stories, once in your podcast, and once in your Instagram feed, you're done for the week.
Okay. Okay.
A common misconception people have is that they think they have to be everywhere every day. And I'm just like, if you're a business owner, who got time for that?
Yeah.
I don't have time for that. You got time for that, Christine?
I really don't.
Every single day? Yeah.
I really don't.
It's not realistic, and it's a surefire way to burn you out.
Totally.
So, yeah. That's you showing up 3 times a week, 4 times, which is, can't do math. That's why I'm a journalism major. But 12 posts. And once you have that 12 post framework, or not even posts, because it'll look different month to month, but the 12 subject areas, you can repeat that over and over for your VA.
That's awesome.
And then I also have, done for you hashtags that I research and put together myself.
Look, let me just pause you, okay? Because the whole hashtag thing, when you taught us, Stephanie, just so you guys know, Stephanie and I met in a mutual program that we're a part of, and we are part of a mini pod of business owners. We meet every week. There's usually about 6 of us, I think, that meets every week. And we have our pod meetings kind of set up on a structure where, there's one person who might want to be in the seat of support. And then there's another person who might like lead a little training or a teaching of some sort on their area of expertise. And Stephanie taught about these hashtags, y'all, and it blew my mind. So just getting the hashtag teaching from Stephanie is going to be like beyond helpful, because the way she taught it to us, it's still kind of over my head, and I still would love to implement it. But yeah, I'm sorry. I just had to say
Yeah,
that.
no, thank you. I appreciate you gassing me up. But the good thing is in my VIP day program, I stopped teaching that to people and I'm just doing it for them.
Yes,
As
girl.
just from trial and error and working in social media, I realized that a lot of people are looking for some done for you help.
We really
Not
just
so
want to stay
much.
in our own lane. That's all we want to
Yes.
do.
Exactly. So I'm like, look, I know what I'm doing. It's a lot easier for me to put
Mhm.
together this list of 300 hashtags for you than to teach you
Oh
how to
my
do it. And now
God.
you got to go do it.
I kind of feel like I would legit just pay you for the hashtag. I
We can
legit
talk. We
just
can
need
talk.
some. I'm saying because I need those hashtags, girl. I need them. I need them.
Yes, but just a couple of tips for people out there listening who don't know how the heck to use their hashtags. A good rule of thumb is you want to stay between 10,000 and 500,000 when it comes to your hashtag usage. And basically, what that means is when you click a hashtag, how many posts are you seeing in there? If it's a
Mm,
hashtag like, I don't know, hashtag business, I don't know off the top of my head how many posts that has, but I know it's in the millions,
yeah, no
like in
doubt.
the tens or 20s of millions. So,
Yeah.
what's going to happen if you post there? You're going to get swallowed, especially
Yes.
if you're a small, trying to grow account.
Yes. Yes.
So yeah, just keep it between 10,000 and 500,000. Get you a good distribution of hashtags in there.
10,000 to 500,000. That's the number where your hashtag needs to fall under when you do the search for the hashtag.
Yes.
And can you tell some of our newbie Instagrammers how to even search for these hashtags? Because there's
Sure.
some people out there who might need to know that.
Well, Instagram definitely isn't making it any easier for people right now because
Mm,
they keep changing their daggone app. And during the election, they had kind of nixed the functionality of hashtags altogether. I think
wow.
it's coming back though. But
Mm,
basically, you will go to the search bar in Instagram where you search for people, places, and hashtags, and you
okay.
just go from there. Once you Okay, as of the time of this recording of this podcast, I'm not sure if this is still true,
Mm-hmm.
but when you search a hashtag, you'll be able to see hashtags related to that. And you can kind of sort of go down this rabbit hole of, oh, that one's related to this. Let me write that down in my
Mm.
notes. And another thing to remember too is that if you use the same group of hashtags on every single post, Instagram is likely to mark you as spam.
Oh, shadow ban, right?
Yes, yes. So what
Mm.
I suggest is that people come up with about 5 different groups of 25 to 30 hashtags that they kind of rotate through with their
Oh,
posts.
okay. Okay. So I was just going to take a quick minute to like look up a hashtag. So with myself as the money mindset dietitian, what's
Mhm.
one hashtag that you think I should look up right now just to out of curiosity see where it lands?
I would start with dietitian. I know that one might be kind of big,
That is
but it
one of them that I use. So,
oh good. But it might lead you to other ones.
girl, it's 1.9 million posts.
Oh, okay. That's not that bad.
Excuse me?
It's not as bad as I was thinking. I was thinking it was going to be like way more.
I'm like, wait a
Um,
minute.
And I'm not
Okay.
saying like, never use any posts in the millions. If it has 1 to 2 million and it's a good one, why not?
Oh,
But
okay.
I
So
wouldn't go higher than 2 million though. There's no point.
then there's dietitian life and there's dietitians with an S, which is 81.6K posts. Dietitian tips, 13.3K posts. Would you say that that's okay or?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Mm,
Um and so your audience is other dietitians, so that would be perfect because
okay.
you know people are probably doing research in there. And what I would suggest for you and for anyone listening is look at the hashtags your competitors are using. Don't just copy and paste them without checking them out first. But that's a
Yeah.
good place to start when you are trying to find hashtags for yourself.
Mhm.
There's also third-party softwares, like there's one called Flick, and
Okay.
there's hashtag expert. They basically do the same thing, exactly what you probably think, which is kind of optimizing your hashtags based on who you're trying to reach.
Oh, okay. Very
Or
good.
you
Look,
could just pay me and I'll do it for you.
there you go. There you go. Like seriously, why not? You know? Okay,
Yes.
so I love it. I think that is amazing. So I always like, as we wrap this up, I
Mm-hmm.
always like to ask my podcast guests if they could share one nugget of wisdom that the listeners could take away. What would you want to share? So, what one nugget of wisdom do you want people to take away from this episode today?
I would say keep an open mind. Don't be afraid to try new things. Don't be afraid to look stupid on the internet.
There you go. Seriously, don't be afraid to look stupid, because you really aren't going to
Yeah.
be looking any more
You're not
stupid
going
than
to look
anyone else.
exactly. All you see is people just putting themselves out there and finding the people that they resonate with. So
Mhm.
even if you think you look like a fool, you might make somebody's day. That might be what they needed to see to buy from you or to even just learn something. Like you
Mhm.
have knowledge. You started your business for a reason and you're trying to help people for a reason. And social media, all that's going to do is put you in front of those people that you want to help so bad. So act a
Mm.
fool.
Okay, very good. Awesome. And I just want to say this about these hashtags, because I'm stuck on this. So I did look up a certain hashtag and I clicked on the hashtag, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then Instagram says recent posts from all hashtags are temporarily hidden to help prevent the spread of possible false information and harmful content related to the election. So they still have that going on right now.
Yeah.
Oh my
Because,
goodness, y'all.
I guess
So,
it technically isn't over. I don't know what's happening with that. But, hopefully it'll be back to
yeah,
normal
but
soon.
on the bright side of things, this is the perfect time to start researching your hashtags and get them all saved up and ready to roll. So when it's
Exactly.
time to post hashtags again, you'll be ready. So
Yep.
have no fear or disappointment about hashtags. If you haven't really started to curate your own hashtags, then this is the perfect time to at least start researching the ones that you want to use for your posts, and then have them ready. Like put them in your notes app or wherever you want to store them, and have
Yes.
them ready for later. All right. Thank you so much, Stephanie. This is so awesome. And if people want to find you, where can they find you? I am going to have all of Stephanie's information, you guys, in the show notes of this episode. But where would you want people to land first?
Sure. You can go to my Instagram, which is thecontentfixer.co, or my website, which is also thecontentfixer.co.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I would love
Yeah.
to meet all y'all.
Yeah, and this VIP day, I have already seen the VIP day behind the scenes. And if any of you are interested in this VIP day, please, please check it out, because this could like change the whole trajectory of how you show up online on social media and start to attract the clients that really need your services the most. All right. Thank you so
Yes,
much,
ma'am.
Stephanie. It was so great to have you on. And to all of you out there listening, have a great rest of your day and have a great week ahead. Great weekend ahead. And I look forward to being with you on another episode of Make More Money as a Dietitian. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Hey, if you want to learn more about how you can make more money as a dietitian, I want to invite you to check out my program, Charge What You're Worth. Now, to learn more about this program and how it can help you to become a top earner as a dietitian in business, just head on over to moneymindsetdietitian.com/work with me. Again, that's moneymindsetdietitian.com/work with me, where you can learn more about the Charge What You're Worth program and how it can help you.